alive. Hello and welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis, now in HD, and I am here with my man.
Steve, real name, no gimmicks. So
And
happy to be here.
so happy to be here. This is going to
So,
be a
so
great
happy.
one. So I did something a little different tonight. I think a lot of you might have noticed that in my socials, in my Discord, and all these things, I was dropping the link to the Rumble.
Oh,
And so let's see
okay.
what's going on, who shows up when. They're probably all going to YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
And so I think I might as well just like talk real quick, if that's all right with you, about what happened in my personal stream.
All right, go for it. Go for it, brother.
Yeah, and so Rogue Radio, I haven't hit you up yet. Thank you so much for being on the Conspiracy Hour one 2 nights ago. But I woke today to a letter from YouTube, and they have taken that video down, and they basically have given me a half strike. They said that if I do this again, they will give my channel a strike, and it was because we talked about the vaccine. They specifically said we have labeled your video misinformation. So um,
That is nuts, bro. That is absolutely nuts.
absolutely nuts. Out of all the things we've said and done, it was the most benign because the part of that video that had to do with vaccines was like an amusing anecdote that we talked about. It was like so small, wasn't even the
Right.
subject, and it just makes me feel like there has to be a better way or a better place.
No, and absolutely. Man, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane to me that, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be insane to me at this point, right? That on a platform as large as YouTube, when you can have anyone espouse any plethora of beliefs, that the beep is the thing that gets your video taken down, right? You
Right.
got people on here talking about Satan worship, man. You got people on here talking about, you know, who's hip hop's biggest serial killer. You got straight up gangbangers. You got friggin' World Star on here. You know what I'm saying?
There are guys playing with guns and while they smoke weed on their clips.
Right.
And I'm watching them like, are they allowed to do that? Well, no one's taking them down.
Right, absolutely, and that's the weird thing about it. Oh, it's so crazy. I just tuned back into the YouTube channel, and the countdown is still going on. I am on a crazy delay tonight, folks. I apologize.
I'm sorry, but as long as we can have a conversation here, let's
Yeah.
don't touch anything that'll make the fabric of internet reality fall apart.
So, and so here's the deal, right? We've made no secret of it that the transition to Rumble is it's coming, right? I made a suggestion to Mantis. I don't know if he wants to talk about that on how, I feel what's safest for Rogue Planet and for Fanboy Modeling School to hold up TV. And whenever it's going to be like controversial stuff, like I'm just going to stream on Rumble, right? I'm not asking you to download another app. You come at your own free will. I do not take for granted all you fine people that show up for streams. But it just seems like a safer place to have a real conversation without the fear of unexplained strikes. And one of our videos got copyrighted, and we don't even know for what. It doesn't even say it when you tell it.
Right. It doesn't. You are right that it tells you the time span that it is. And the time span was when we were showing that video.
Which one with the
it was what is it? Mediocre tutorials and reviews. And he was with that light-skinned girl. I sound like I said that with disdain. The Fat Mantis obviously doesn't have disdain for his sister. Rogue Radio says, I'm loving the vampire goblet you're drinking out of. Thank you so much. We got Bex in the house. Hashtag fangirls for fanboys.
So we got a humdinger episode, but yeah, so obviously a few other things if you don't mind me getting into some stuff really quickly. Hold Up TV on Spoon did the very last, and so who knows when, but I'm just gonna say the last request box / Zenful / Night Owl stream last night. Had so much fun last night. Got a little emotional, right? Yeah,
got a little emotional. Tears were flowing.
So, but moving forward, conversations that matter depending on the content or the topic, will be on Rumble. Maybe the replay after being edited will go up on YouTube, and we'll see where we go from here. Pillow Talk is going to be on Beck's quote. Correct me if I'm not correct here. It's going to be moving over to Clubhouse, so come join us on Clubhouse because you won't be able to catch us on Spoon, and we'll be doing some video stuff as well for Bex's show.
Yo, I gotta say, so this has been a crazy week of discoveries and all these things. So, I got the word from that Spoon is closing down, right?
Right.
I also got the word that this happened yesterday, but the 30th was the last day for Green Room,
Yeah.
known as Spotify Live,
Yeah.
an app we took very seriously for some time when it was a good
Very
app.
serious. Very serious.
Spoon was one, like you said last night in your stream, so poignantly. It's where we really learned how to be streamers. It's where we
Right.
came up. We learned so much stuff there. There was a lot of greatness there, and that's
Right.
closing its doors as well. And
Right.
we could be sad, but I actually think that these are good things. Actually do believe God closes doors to open new ones for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. I 100% agree with that, man. And it's like I've said before, man, if you're a content creator, you're someone that speaks into a mic or, records something, always be thinking about what the vision and the brand is, right? And ask anyone, ask Bex, ask Mantis. I take the brand of the Hold Up TV very, very seriously. And when I go into partnerships with people, I take that serious. And the one thing I always ask myself, where's the best place to grow? I don't do this for play. I do this because I love it. You know what I'm saying? Where's the best place to grow? The one place that I felt like had the most potential was Green Room, but you find out really quickly that audio matters, right? But I will say, man, I remember looking up one day on a Spy on a Date episode, and there were like 45 real people in there. No bots, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's how I monetized my Twitch. I had a very clear scheme and hustle that I use Green Room to get monetized on Twitch. Mantis used Green Room to get monetized on Twitch. But now it's in a place where it's like, where's the best place for the content to grow and for people? And I really do hope that Rumble puts some steam behind this for smaller content creators. So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll absolutely see. It's going to be a good time. Yeah, I used to love Spy on a Date, man. That was a good show.
It was,
Hosted by my man Steve, the Hold Up TV. Uh,
AKA Dr. Love.
Yeah. And so Matt says, no, Spoon is shutting down. How are you going to talk about that fat girl on Spoon? I don't even know who she is. Well, you know what, Matt? If you come to my end of Spoon party, which is going to be on Tuesday, May 16th, it's in my Discord. You can either do that or go to Spoon directly. I'm going to stream my Discord party into Spoon. So you could go there and you might actually get to meet her or hear her talk.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Beck,
absolutely. It's going to
Beck
be a
put
good
up the yeah, he takes it very seriously. What I think is the drunk emoji, or I don't know. Sounds like a shot. Sounds like a shot at my personal character. But we got a humdinger of a show tonight. We're gonna be doing some reaction videos, watching some crazy stuff where I find on the internet. I'm up all night looking for stuff to enjoy with my homie here. So we got some stuff, man. We're gonna take you to the most racist town in America tonight.
Oh yeah, I actually can't wait to watch this one. Before we do, I want to do an honorable mention though, and before I even do that, I would love it if anyone watching likes this video, subscribes to this channel, keep tuning in to Fanboy Modeling School here on Fight Juice Online. Also, guys, please check out Steve already started his journey as Jedi Survivor streaming here on this channel. Guys, got to check it out. They're cool, just chill streams where you just hang out, no pressure. We're not here to learn anything, just hang out as friends. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's request box minus the music and me cursing a lot and getting lost in the game.
Lightsabers. But my honorable mention is Margot Robbie has been offered the position of Susan Storm on the Fantastic Four. Everyone's reporting about it. Everyone's talking about it. You know what I think is hysterical? This is my chance to be petty.
Go for it.
On the list that Grace Randolph claimed her insider told her, Margot Robbie was not even on that list.
Nowhere near it.
Nowhere near it. She said Allison Williams. She said Jodie Comer. She even said Mila Kunis. Which now they're rumoring that she might be the Thing. Who knows what that's going on with that? What I'm saying is her list was just cockamamie.
Yeah, no, absolute malarkey. Absolute malarkey. I'm starting to believe that the insider is the guy that sells hot dogs outside of Marvel Studios.
Yeah. Like, great, I got a scoop for you, yo. You gotta buy a hot dog, though. And none of this bad stuff. You gotta take toppings too. And she buys a couple of bucks. She gets an inside scoop. But this is why I can't stand scoopers, man. They're always wrong. They're always making shit up.
So let's get right into it. Let's talk about that, man. Susan Storms, played by Margot Robbie. Now, let me ask you a question. What do you think about Margot Robbie as an actress?
I actually think she's an amazing actress. I actually think it's possible that Harley Quinn has been holding her back
Yeah, I would agree with that. I
because
would
she has to put on
absolutely
a silly voice and act like a ditz all the time.
yeah, Ditz that really I don't think that character should have been as popular as it is, but different strokes for different folks. Now, but does she sue Richards, right? The Invisible Woman. This is not a character. I think a lot of people hear the term Invisible Woman and they're like, what depth? She has had some amazing story arcs, right? Some
Yeah.
amazing arcs. She's done amazing things in the comics. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Hickman, but even before Hickman's run on Fantastic Four, we've seen Sue Storms in the original Infinity Wars comic proper, not the movies. We watched her stop a gamma bomb from exploding and killing all the heroes before the conflict even began. We've seen
Yes.
Sue Storm participate with Thanos in killing his clone that Magnus had made. Like she's in the background helping Thanos kill his own clone.
All the ongoing love triangle between her husband, and Namor is
Weird.
amazing, specifically when Civil War happened. And she
Right.
went to go live with Namor because
Very strange.
Mr. Fantastic was being a D-bag.
Very strange. Very strange. Now, I think Margot Robbie can pull this off. I think she's actually a really amazing pick. Obviously, I wanted Krasinski and his wife. What's her name? Emily Blunt.
Yeah, Emily Blunt.
I wanted Emily Blunt because I think Emily Blunt is just an amazing actress, and I think she just has the range to do and take Sue Storms to Sue Richards to a different place. But I'll take Margot Robbie, man. I will take Margot Robbie.
I'm so shocked, but I'm good. I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah.
It's right now. Here's what I'm saying. I would have never picked her, and I would have never picked Adam Driver. But still, I like them as actors, which means I'm still going to show up to this movie opening day.
Yeah, now it's going to be interesting what version of the Fantastic Four we get. So we know that the MCU is loosely based on the Ultimates or the Ultimate Universe, right?
I think they're going opposite. I think you're right. I think they are doing Heckman's run because I think here's what it is in the Ultimates. They make the Fantastic Four younger. They make them like teenagers, right. And however, the rumors are that he's already going to be a family man.
Right. Okay.
He's actually going to have his 2 kids, and they're going to be married already. So, and I think that that's the Hickman years is when he had the beard. Everyone loves the beard, right? Everyone
Yeah, that's the badass, Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
that's Mr. Fantastic that built the Ark, found the Council of Reeds, then a bunch of mad Celestials started killing the Council of Reeds. That was a crazy run.
Yeah.
Now, as interesting as this is, right? And as much as I respect the character of the Invisible One, I got to get to the other thing that's going around the internet. Now, here's where I will jump off the MCU train as in being completely emotionally connected to it beyond the point of taking my kids to see it. If they gender swap the fucking thing, I'm done, man, because it's not because of the gender swap. It's completely evident that they're not listening anymore. That they're not listening, that they have no interest or connection to the source material. Because if there's one character I can think of who does not need to be gender swapped, it's freaking Ben Grimm. He's
the fact that he is the epitome of masculinism, right? He's supposed to be the loving, caring uncle to the kids,
right?
He's a protector, a big golem who looks out for people,
right?
The lovable blue-eyed thing they call him.
Yeah,
I no offense, ladies, absolutely no offense, but that's not feminine energy.
Yeah, and I'm trying to understand what's the motivation. I wish I could be in the casting room, the creative room, when the idiot says, "Hey, you know what? Let's make the thing a woman." Like, why wasn't that person bludgeoning right there?
I'll tell you what this is all about. And first, I really want to quickly say, Shaolin Iceboxer says she's a great actress and super fine. Absolutely love her on everything she does. Right. Margot Robbie. Matt says, I don't know what Green Room is. Is it like Spoon? It was. Well, it's shut down. Spotify created its own audio-only streaming service. And after we left Spoon, we all went there. And it was a party for a while. Mad people were jumping in there. We were having all sorts of weird streams. It was audio only. You could actually leave gifts in the chat, which
Yeah.
is
Oh, it
cool.
was amazing. The chat
Oh,
used to be so live in Green Room, man.
yeah. He says, I don't have Discord or Spoon. Don't worry, man. I'm gonna find a way to get you to that party because you're gonna have the time of your life. These Spoon cats are loose. But here's basically what it is. Hollywood right now is under the problem where they're hiring all these young executives, these young creative types, and they're being bamboozled by these young idiots. And the young idiots are going like, you know what the next big thing is? Diversity and inclusion. And they're being sold this thing, and the older executives don't know anything about it, and they're like, well, if it's gonna make us money, do it. They don't realize that, like, here's what it is. Here's what I'm saying. Diversity and inclusion are wonderful things, but not when they were forced or tricked upon Hollywood in an attempt to make money off of.
Right.
That's where it gets ridiculous. We see through it. We see how insincere it is. Right?
Right. No, I see that. What's Matt's comment saying on there?
He says, is listen on Rumble any good? Because I'm on here and I don't think it's working. Oh, on Rumble? I mean, just hit us up on YouTube. I hope you can find us on YouTube. I mean, I know you follow us.
Yo, the crazy thing is, I can't even see the live on Rumble. I just went there so I can jump in. It has to be me. It has to be me, bro.
Easy, because I sent out the link for it and
Oh,
everything.
now that I clicked the link, now I can see it. Now
you see us? Hi, Steve.
Oh, there are 8. There are 8 people in here. Geek what? Okay, I'm listening on Rumble now. Okay. Obviously, the Rumble chat doesn't come through, so I'm gonna keep this up so I can see the.
Oh, that's awesome! I love that. Thank you.
But continue. I'm sorry.
So that, they've been basically bamboozled. This idea, like, the Bud Light thing is the perfect thing, because who did they get after they did the Bud Light mistake with who they made an ad with?
Right.
It showed the arrogant vice president of marketing. She's like a young girl, couldn't be more than 28 years old, bragging about how wise she is and how stupid the people before her were. Yeah. And that's no offense to Gen Z, but offense is meant. That is what they think. I understand every generation thinks the older generation are fools and they can't see what's up. But no generation has been more offensive like this than Gen Z.
Okay.
Gen Z really does think the older generations are just complete idiots, and that's what it is. They're like, well, I live in a world of diversity and inclusion. I live in a world of these weird pronouns, and I'm going to put it in art. And you know what? People don't want to see it in art.
Okay, you just gave a very, very articulate, intelligent response. Let me take it to a different place. I don't give a fuck about Gen Z. I don't give a fuck about millennials. I don't give a fuck about any of these terms. I don't. They are identifiers, and I use them in debates just to prove my point, because I'm often right, but uncelebrated when it comes to these type of things. But here's the deal, right? There is absolutely no creative reason to me, subjectively, to change Ben Grimm into a woman. There is not any reason. And I think that people, when they're on the quest for diversity and inclusion, these are not the people who are going to show up and support your product. You know who will show up in spite of your dumb decisions are the people who were moaning and groaning for comic book accuracy and for comic book movies when we all had to sit through X-Men 1. Right? When we all had to watch the original fucking Punisher movie with Dolph Lundgren, right?
Yeah, right.
People who wanted to see our characters represented on the big screen before anyone was talking about inclusion. Bro, let's not forget that the reason that Blade, the movie, kicked ass was because Blade just blew our minds. It wasn't even a character that was that dope, right?
Right.
Wesley Snipes took it so seriously, and he wanted to give the people, the fans, something so amazing that movie, not X-Men, don't ever make that mistake, is the reason you have the MCU. It's a fact. It's a fact.
I would say that because it predates it was the big hyped blockbuster superhero movie.
Right,
that
right.
ushered in this need to inject superhero movies into our veins.
Right.
You're right, and it was blowing our minds. And another great thing is it shows you that instead of taking a character and turning him black for the sake of the movie, they just picked a black character who, you're right, his source material isn't very good, but they still made it work.
Right.
And they could do that still. They could still find black characters and give them roles, but instead they want to swap them out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
they did with the other Johnny Storm? I love Michael B. Jordan, but I mean that really didn't work.
It made no sense. I don't understand. It's like I think that sometimes, not saying that there can't be racist fans, right? I know that there are racist, sexist nerds out there with Cheeto dust hanging off of them. No chance of ever getting laid, right? But the one thing they didn't understand was how important, the one thing they don't understand, how important it is for this fictional content, this content that we used to just read on panels, how important it is that we're immersed in it. And the one thing that can pull you out of that is when you fuck with a character, man. Right? When you fuck with a character, it pulls you out of it. Now, to the quote unquote normie, this is not a big deal, but for the people who go out and support, and Mantis and I have had our debates about this, I believe that it is the casuals that keep these properties alive, but they turn on you, right? We've seen that.
I'm going to say something. I think a lot of people are going to debate this. This
Okay.
is from what the Mantis. I actually do believe the four characters that make up the original Fantastic Four are up there with Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, like Wonder Woman. They are up there as iconics. I think normies can identify them and know who they are. That's how big they are.
But they're very recognizable for
Turning
sure.
Ben Grimm into a woman, in my opinion, would be the same thing as turning Flash into a woman.
But for what?
Even a normie is going to be like, "What is going on?"
What's the point? That's the thing I don't understand. Like, I wish I could understand Kevin Feige's thought process on this. What is the point exactly?
It's not just him, but you know about the 4-quadrant movie idea?
No.
So basically, the idea is that if you have the 4 quadrants, which is like it's the 4 groups, it's the 4 people group. So it's like the white man, and then it's women, and then it's like brown skinned people, and then it's and then it's the gays, right? If you get all 4 of those, all of them coming to your movie, you make the most amount of money. So what they do is they're like, well, let's try to include a little of everything in there. And that's where it kind of goes wrong, because it makes a movie or a script that's very sincere become very insincere when you insert something out of the blue.
Okay.
And all these guys, all these executives are always talking about 4-quadrant movies. 4-quadrant movies want to hit all 4 corners of the box.
Right.
And so that's why they think they're like Fantastic Four, 4 white people adventurers. No. We got to get gays and blacks in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so
right.
And then what happens to the fan base? The people who knew them for years are like, wait, what? Human Torch is black now? That doesn't make any sense.
So here's the thing that I know people will make the argument, or they'll use this argument. It's like, man, this is the exact same thing they were going through pre and post civil rights when they were trying to normalize black people in America being on television, going from minstrel shows and sambo type shit, but it's different, right? It's different because in actuality, we have never lived in a more quote unquote accepting and tolerant time in regards to media. Now, that's not to say that black actors, Asian actors, Latino actors, women actresses, female actresses, they don't. Maybe they I know they do have a harder shake in regards to casting. I know that the opportunities are very small for African American or black women in the film industry. And now we got fucking European blacks, not European black. We got blacks from England paying black people in America. So that's another interesting conversation.
Oh, no, I'm really pissed about the UK thing because like I hate it when I find out an actor is British.
Yeah, I'm just like, wait, what? You couldn't find a brother in it? But at the end of the day, I take my fantasy and my comics a little bit more seriously because this is established lore. The same way I take my Shakespearean representation seriously. I will admit I am a fan of Much Ado About Nothing, the film adaptation,
Right.
with Denzel Washington.
Yes.
He wasn't the greatest in there, but it is a trip to see Denzel Washington. Like in the Shakespeare. It's just weird. I don't get the motivation here at all.
Hello. Oh, sorry. I pulled up the Rumble things too, so I could see some people doing their thing.
But at any rate, man, I think we've moaned on about this long enough. Who's ready to get in some bullshit? Let's get into some shenanigans. YouTube, please respect the fact that we're just playing, content that exists on YouTube. Other people react to it. Fair use type of shit. Rumble. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you for having us. Well, even though people are like, we don't like your we don't like our interface, or they're complaining. Yes, we're complaining that you're not as good as you're not as fancy as YouTube. But you know what? Just the mere fact that you let people say what they need to say, it's the most important thing in the world.
But I will say this, Rumble, maybe if you could work closely with StreamYard, Restream, and OBS, obviously, the big three, in regards to integrated chat.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't realize that if you take something that isn't affiliated, like it doesn't have an easy link, that you're not going to get the chat from it. That's
yeah.
That almost eliminates why I would link it to something.
Absolutely. Let's get to the bullshit. Let's get to the
bullshit. Which one we going with first? We going with Jay-Z?
Why wait? Let's go to the most racist town in America. Let's get to people.
That's what everybody's here for. Everybody wants to see the most racist town in America, and I do too. Wait, was that correct?
Old. You're so old.
I am old, and I feel it. I fucking feel it, damn it, every damn day. Damn these Gen Z kids and their damn internet.
So if I'm to believe the metrics here on Rumble, only one follower is in here, and there are 6 people watching right now. So shout out to all 60 people. Consider subscribing to the Fat Mantis, voice of the Fat Mantis, over on Rumble.
Yeah, any little bit helps, man. We all love you. You ready to see this?
I'm ready.
Harrison, Arkansas. And so before we go any further, and I'm not trying to diss any Arkansonians or anything like that, but I remember when I lived down in Virginia.
Yes, I do remember that.
I fell in love with a country girl.
I remember that as well.
and we had a beautiful apartment, and we had a beautiful dog. Smokey was her name. And after we broke up, we still remained friends. And she would end up moving to Arkansas. She's so super country. She told me literally when she went down to Fayetteville that the KKK advertises just put up posters in the city.
Well, hey, wait, real quick. You don't need to go to Arkansas in the South for that.
Really?
You can go right to Pennsylvania, where one of the Grand Dragons, or the Grand Dragon, the head of the KKK, lived and has a broadcast. And my wife would tell me about it when she was going to college.
A broadcast?
Yes. Like they had a fucking public access television show, which a lot of people would dismiss because it's public access. But in actuality, you'd be surprised how many people watch that channel. In fact, I don't even know if you can still watch public access in New York. But yeah, the Klan is everywhere. I actually just watched a documentary on Hulu about a guy who infiltrated the Klan and prevented the murder of a black man by 3 Klansmen. And it turns out Florida, where Disney is, and Ron DeSantis, for all you folks, little conundrum here for you. Apparently, the Florida correctional system allegedly is riddled with Klans members.
Oh, I mean, I believe that. Oh my God.
Let's check it out. Let's
check out this lovely town, Harrison, Arkansas.
Harrison, Arkansas is the most racist town in the United States.
All right, pause it. Go back. Start that shit over. Just so you have context, this isn't just some crazy blue-haired liberal, right? Look at the sign in the background.
WhitePrideRadio.com and then AltRightsTV.com.
Here we go. So we know where we're at.
And here's what I'm saying. But like, I feel like I've never seen a place where people might have these ideas, but to feel they can put up signs. Like my ex was telling me, she's just like, she would walk around and she would just see them advertising, like posters on the wall. Join the KKK today. And the I feel like the balls of that.
Yeah, amazing since it's like it's supposed to be a secret organization. Join our secret organization, proudly repped on the banner here.
Beck says I'm ready for shenanigans. Matt says, "Man, I hope it's not Grand Rapids, Michigan." That's where he lives. I was on Rumble, but I had to bail. You can't see my comments. Okay, it's all good. You're here. Let's make this happen. Okay, let's see about Grand Rapids.
Arkansas is the most racist town in the United States.
Have a little pride in your race, brother. White pride worldwide. I wouldn't say after dark, man.
Honestly, dude, you have balls of steel because you could get hospitalized by some guys that want to beat your ass.
I've had several old men come by here, look out the window and tell me, says, you better go tell that nigger to get out of here and shit.
Whoa, hold it. Wait. You didn't hear it wrong. Hard R.
Hard R. Yes, hard R. I'm already scared of this video. Like, this is the beginning. What else are they going to show us?
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
About 10 minutes, I'm going to be back. You better be fucking gone.
Okay, come back.
One that's white lie. We matter too. You're a white man. Crazy.
You're a dumbass motherfucker.
Whoa.
You dumb shit.
What?
Are you a Marxist?
Communist. Domestic terrorist.
Why don't you take it to Chicago or New York and hold it up where they're shooting each other?
Explain to me why I couldn't find that.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Whoa! That was
Wait. Someone get Berlin in here. Someone get Berlin.
Yes, someone get Berlin, please.
Unbelievable.
The way he said that is like, tell me why I could. Like, that was hillbilly central. Oh god. Okay, now I see.
And shout out.
Saying, I'm a simple New Yorker.
Great.
I've traveled to Michigan. I've traveled to Virginia. I haven't really encountered flagrant racism.
Right.
I mean, obviously, we all encounter racists here and there, but stuff like this, I have not actually seen in my life. And now I know it's all in Arkansas. It's all
well, bro. I got I grew up in New York, but I've dipped and dabbled in places where you would not go. But you grew up in Brooklyn. You lived in Brooklyn. You've heard of a place called Sheepshead's Bay, right?
Yeah. Oh, of course. But again, it's like hidden racism. Like, they'll be racist and they won't say anything until they're beating your ass.
Yeah,
they take you into an alley to beat you.
Well, I mean, let's remember. Never mind. Let's roll more of this amazing footage right here.
Shout out to Michigan, go blue!
Jesus,
Chad's out of town. That shit don't make shit here.
hey, all lives matter, not just black.
You're a Caucasian.
You're white.
You're a white guy holding a black matter. What's the deal with that? I'd be ashamed to be a white boy carrying that stupid sign.
You're white, aren't you?
Oh, boy.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Saying something too?
Yes, sir.
I am good.
Because I'm tired of seeing this right here is the biggest hoax there ever was.
It's just the next thing to ask.
It is.
Yeah, black lives do matter, but what about ours, man?
Apparently, black people's lives matter more than us.
Apparently.
You know, the Irish have
Oh my God! What cause did she
How's your
said?
day going?
She said, "F Black lives, and I have black friends." All right, so this is one of the most interesting parts of the video because he in one of the clips, right? And we do have to acknowledge, obviously, this video is edited. We don't know how long he was out there and how many people actually responded. He recorded and put up this responses of people actually engaging with him. But he's in front of a Walmart in this scene, right? And he has from Walmart corporate their official tweet in regards to this topic. Now, if you have not been around for a while, you wouldn't know that I have an issue with Black Lives Matter, the organization, not the mantra, right? I believe that Black Lives Matter, but I apply that in a wider context, right? I would love to see, maybe I can convince Mantis to do this with me one day. We're going to get some Black Lives Matter shirts, right? And we're going to go to Chicago, right outside of O Block. If you know, you know. And we're going to stand there with a sign that says Black Lives Matter. And we're going to point it at the motherfuckers killing black people. And then I'll travel to Arkansas and point it at those folks as well. But this is a comment from Walmart, and it reads as follows. Black Lives Matter. It is all our responsibilities to embrace the fact in what we say and what we do. There's no way to live our values if we don't. Dot, dot, dot. Hit that play button.
Yo, I'm. Oh,
Walmart, they put out this statement.
I would ask you to leave. Exactly what I'm saying is exactly what they would ask me to do.
And then finally, the video ends with one woman in town walking up and handing a piece of paper to him. And he had to blur her face out.
ignore the haters. You're being peaceful. What you're doing is good. Just a friendly reminder: don't give up hope.
Okay, so DT Dub is in the building. DT, this is not an attack at you, man. Just something I thought you would find interesting. Can you start the video over, Mantis? I don't think Berlin deserves to see this.
We're gonna yeah, it's only 2 minutes, and we're gonna watch it without interruption.
Here you go, Berlin.
This is
Harrison, Arkansas is the most racist town in the United States.
Have a little pride in your race, brother. What?
He's a white dude just carrying on a sign on the side of the freeway, or a busy street. Black Lives Matter. So we'll see what happens.
I wouldn't say after dark, man. Honestly, dude, you have balls of steel because you could get hospitalized by some guys that want to beat your ass.
I've had several old men come by here, look out the window and tell me, said, you better go tell that nigger to get out of here and shit.
About 10 minutes, I'm gonna be back. You better be fucking gone.
Okay, come back.
What about the white lives? We matter too. You're a white man. Crazy.
You're a dumbass. Oh my God, you dumb shit.
Are you a Marxist?
Communist. Terrorist.
Why don't you take it to Chicago or New York and hold it up for the shooting each other?
Explain to me why I couldn't fly things.
There we go. Real fucking job. I'm Jesus. Dad's out of town. That shit don't make shit here. Hey, all lives matter, not just black. You're a Caucasian.
You're white.
You look like a white guy holding a black man. What's your that?
That'd be a shame. You're a white boy carrying that stupid sign.
You're white, aren't you? Oh boy. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, you said something too?
Yes, sir.
I am good.
Because I'm tired of seeing this right here is the biggest hoax there ever was.
It's just the next thing to ask.
It is.
Yeah, black lives do matter, but what about ours, man?
Apparently, black people's lives matter more than us.
Apparently.
You know, the Irish have.
The nigger's gonna kill you too. Black lives don't matter.
Hey, Mike. How's your day going? Walmart, they put out this statement.
I would ask you to leave. Exactly what I'm saying is exactly what they would ask me to
The
do.
manager's kicking you off. Yeah, so DT Tubb says, I'm offended, man. Was this Bax's idea? She says, how'd I get into this? Is laughing. So it's super, super, super offensive, but that's why we put it on. So it is funny because that the idea of that being a New Yorker
Right.
is insane.
Right.
Because if that happened in New York, obviously it wouldn't necessarily be the opposite, but people would not be screaming at the dude.
Well, wait. So we got to do this, right? If we're going to be responsible about this, I just want everyone to wrap their head around this. I'm only throwing this out there for conversation. Mantis, let me ask you a question. If it was a black guy standing in, let's say, I don't know, Flatbush, New York, with a sign that says "White Lives Matter," do you think, whether you agree with that slogan or not, do you think that people walking by would say and engage with that person holding that sign up, juxtapose, same but different. Do you think that the fine people of Flatbush or East New York, fuck it, Harlem,
Yeah.
it was a black guy holding up a sign?
Yeah, I don't. I want to say I don't think he'd last the day, but then again, I didn't think this guy would last the day. I thought he'd be dead halfway through that. I'm actually surprised that they're restrained. They proved to be more civilized than I gave them credit for.
Berlin says, "Hey, at least one person was nice." I think you would get the response, but the interesting thing about the conversation around this is that, again, I do not support Patrice and the crew. I do support the slogan that Black Lives Matter, but I use it as an umbrella where Black Lives Matter and, various different places like the hood or maybe in someone else's body. You like how I slid that one in?
See what he did there?
See what I did? It's genius.
Genius. The thing is, I'm going to tell you, I used to be a supporter of Black Lives Matter.
There's nothing. How could you not be, right?
The Summer of Love, I was absolutely a fan.
Bro, when you see a man getting choked out for selling Lucy's by the police in New York, who are notorious for choking a brother, let us not forget this is not just something that happened in a movie. It's happened multiple times, and one time is too many, in my opinion.
I mean, I can't breathe was the slogan. Everyone chanted, "I can't breathe."
Yeah.
Something needs to be done about all this crazy police brutality. But when the Summer of Love happened, I could not support the organization anymore.
Well, it wasn't just the Summer of Love, right? The redistribution of wealth.
That later on. Yeah, it was later on when we discovered they were also bamboozling their own people.
right.
But also all the violence that happened during that summer.
The crazy thing about it is, and RIP to the brother who died. What's the brother's name? Man, I'm tired. I work a job. Floyd. RIP to Floyd, right? He did not deserve the fate that he had, that he got, man.
No.
The one thing I don't understand, though, right? There was a video clip that went viral, and you can call this an isolated incident of a woman in New York. I don't know if she was in the Bronx or not, but she had a restaurant, right, that had been there for quite some time, and it had been looted, burned down, and destroyed. And I noticed whenever someone that was on the conversational side of George Floyd or using George Floyd's murder as their talking point, they never engaged with one question. What about the black businesses that were burned down? What about the communal businesses? Hell, I'll go further. At the onset of that shit in George Floyd's city, man, there was a Native American community outreach center. Look it up. I'm not making this shit up. That shit got burned down. I'm like, what the fuck did the Native Americans do? Why did the community outreach center for
It's mostly black businesses that are going to get screwed in these riots anyway, because they're right there. They're front and center. And what I love that, back in the day, you remember Mad TV?
Oh, of course.
Which is so funny, though. The skit I'm about to say, I actually think Key and Peele were in them back in the day, because that's where they got their start and that's where they met.
Right.
But there was
no, that's not. It wasn't Mad TV. They actually got their start and where they met on all that.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, that's way back in the day.
Yeah.
But Mad TV, there's a skit where there's a black public access channel, and they start talking all this Hotep stuff, and then right out, like after a couple of minutes, they look around and they go, "Okay, we think we've scared off the white people." And they take off their hoods, and all this stuff, and they're like, "Okay, guys, we're gonna teach you about how to really riot." And like one of the things they were trying to teach them, they're like, "We can't stress this enough. Don't riot in your own community. Go to a white community to riot." It was hysterical. It was absolutely hysterical. So true, right?
Right.
It's like how can you justify destroying your own community when you're mad at the system?
And again, right? So the easy stance to take here is that, oh, look at this light-skinned motherfucker, look at this coon motherfucker up here talking about what we should do with our outrage. No, I'm actually asking you in retrospect. If you're gonna burn down a black business with a white business, or you're gonna burn down a Latino business with a white business, what does that prove, right? So I could see you making the argument. It's a bad argument. I want to make sure I say that publicly. Like, it's Walmart, it's Best Buy, they're insured, et cetera, et cetera. That's all very true. But when those businesses move out, they don't come back. And the people who are employed there, whether you consider it slave labor or not, I would say that the slaves or survivors of the transatlantic slave trade would be like, wait, they pay you? You get a break. They might take a bit of umbrage with what you're saying, but when those businesses don't come back, right? And it increases the very talking points that you're bringing up, like, I don't know, food deserts, right? Why would a Whole Food invest in a neighborhood that at any given second shit could be burned down?
And
what is the ask there? What is the ask?
I hate to get political, but where are the food deserts popping up that we're talking about? Portland, San Francisco. You know what I'm talking about? Hyper liberal places that let these types of things go down. Right?
100%. 100%. I think one of the dumbest takes I've ever heard, and I won't mention who said it, was that black capitalism isn't going to save us because of what happened in Tulsa. And I'm like, okay, but you're talking about revolution. Where else are you going to get the funds for said revolution?
Oh my God. Are you kidding? I have a feeling I know who this person is, and I know this person is totally completely wrong. Because we need more black entrepreneurs. We need more black. This sounds I'm telling you, this is going to sound stupid. We need more black owners of sports teams. We need more black men who have made it and can teach or at least garner other people to help them. And so, and I gotta say, I'm not gonna say what ethnic groups, but certain ethnic groups come to this country, and those that make money and things, they do things like hire their own people to perpetuate wealth and education.
Whoa,
and they're successful at it. And why don't brothers and sisters do this?
Whoa, you're saying some crazy shit right now. You're saying some crazy shit right now. All right, here's the thing, right, man? In regards to this video, right? This video is important to remember. I want to be on the public record of saying that the sin of racism, which is actually called the sin of hate, right?
Right, hate. Whatever reason you hate, and that is the sin of hate.
Oh, I'm about to fuck them up right now. Let me cook. The sin of hatred, right? Exists everywhere. It exists in the hearts of all people. You'd be surprised if I held up a mirror to you and myself, how many times you commit the sin of hate on a day-to-day basis. When we get into the topic of race, though, people want to boil it down to race, where it's like, no, everyone's guilty of the sin of hate. It includes it because it's all encompassing because it's all evil. And there are systems that are built off hatred and obviously opportunistic things. But here's the most important thing to remember about what we're seeing here in this video, right? Are these dumbass motherfuckers driving by making valid points? I was raised in a way where it's like, to thine own yard you look first.
Okay.
Right? So if black lives don't matter to us, why would the redneck who lives in this town think that black lives matter at all? They already didn't believe that black lives don't matter, but now you've given them a talking point, right? When the Black Lives Matter movement came up, I was all board. Full tilt in. I was in. Until I realized that it only mattered when it came to one group oppressing or taking a black life. I'm not getting into like statistics or anything like that, Mantis.
I absolutely feel you. And then, okay, so what I'm saying is, I think most of these people do not have good points. They're all idiots. There was one woman, even though she was a bad actor, I think she said what you were feeling, and I thought about it too. And she said, why don't you take that sign to Chicago or New York where they're killing each other?
Well, here's the thing. She's not a bad actor. So if you want a fully informed view of what I believe, right? I believe one of the great issues we face within our own community as black people, I'm talking about black people across the world, are bad actors. But let's hone in on America, right? There's a show called Snowfall. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves it.
I love that show.
There's a show called BMF. Everyone loves it. Power
Oh,
Empire.
Empire, yeah.
You know what? The one thing that's consistent across all those shows,
Drugs and
these
violence.
these motherfuckers are pumping weight into the neighborhood, weight into the community, right? And no, I don't know if I won't say no one, but does anyone? I'm asking the question. Take a step back and look at Free Ray Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross,
Right, the real Rick Ross,
and go, hey, this motherfucker helped to cripple our community. I'm not disagreeing with the point that the white man flooded the hood with drugs, but he used the brother to do it. Why does this motherfucker get a TV show, right?
Right, a TV show glorifying him. They're like, they're like, we couldn't secure the rights for him, but this is basically him. Look he struggled. He came. They have it like a story where he came from nothing and he's a little punk.
Right.
And he has to work his way up the drug game. You're right. It's absolutely glamorizing what he did. Absolutely. There's no other interpretation of that.
And I'm no moralistic figure to follow behind. I'm just saying that I would never give my ops an argument against me. Right? I would never give. If you truly believe that the white man is your op, why would you give him a stance? As, I don't know. I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know.
For starters, Beck says chanting "I can't breathe" was always weird to me.
Right.
And then DT Dub says Stone Steve forgetting his name, George Floyd. That's right. Nowadays, it's a sin to not memorize all the names of the young men who get killed. Matt says, I'm with Steve. I agree with the sentiment, but not the group. It's sad that they took all that money and didn't give any help to their community. It is
$90 million. I remember one of our last episodes on Dope Dynamics. I was like, yo, can we without bringing race into it, can we talk about how that money did not in any way, shape, or form get redistributed to the victims of people whose businesses got burned down during the freedom rallies, nor did it make its way to George Floyd's family? Right?
Exactly. Did his family get any compensation for the loss of their son?
Well, they got compensation, but it wasn't from Black Lives Matter. But can we also talk about the young brother who died in Atlanta, who is a true sad story? Do you remember this guy? Of course you don't. He was the guy who was out jogging.
Oh, I do remember this story. This is the most tragic ever. Because when he stops in a construction site of a building for water while he jogs, and they're like, "We seen some N-word steal." It wasn't even their property.
That was real racism. 3 men.
An ex-cop, a retired cop, was one of them.
2 of them.
Oh, 2 of them, and they literally rode him down. They're like, the poor guy's jogging. And they pull up on him and they're like, that was straight up an assault on just like a dude who was just doing it, minding his own business.
So, and this is the great thing about playing this video, right? For the people who believe that racism doesn't exist or it's in your mind, well, here you see that in this town, right? Obviously, it still exists. So, Mantis, I'll let you tie this one up. You're great at this. I got to go pee.
It's actually so funny. You can go if you need, it's all good. It's so funny that earlier today I was talking to a brother who lives out in Brooklyn, and he wants to keep it real, and he's married and he has a daughter now, and he wants to keep it real and stay in Brooklyn, and he's worried that like moving to the suburbs will make it like, he's like, we'll be less black, he's having a Blackish moment. And so anyone seen that show, that's a comedy where the main character feels guilty for moving away from the hood and raising his kids in the suburbs for the betterment of them, for their education and just a safer life. And I was having literally this conversation with my friend, and he was like, well, people in the suburbs are racist. I don't want to expose my daughter to racism. And I was like, yo, man, you need to get your ass there. You need to get to the suburbs for the good of your daughter. Beck says, that's because you're not black enough, beloved.
Oh, shit.
Hello, Lainey. How are you today?
What up?
That's gluttony. Hey, Lainey. Racism exists. I was trolling when I said it. Yes, obviously.
Yeah, I know. You live in Florida. Obviously, I know you know racism.
But yo, Steve, I was just telling them about how Cyrus and Leanne, they have a daughter now, and they don't want to leave the hood because Cyrus is worried he's like, I can't leave my fellow black man. What am I going to do? Go to the suburbs? And I said, that's what you need to do for the good of your daughter.
Yeah, I don't get. All right, so one of my favorite rappers, a dude by the name of Sho Baraka, made a song that references Malcolm X's famous speech, "A Ballad or a Bullet." I don't have time to unpack that for you. Go look it up. Talked about black people. Now this wasn't a conviction against black people who do this, but who moved out of the hood and they took black wealth with them. But when faced with the opposition of my child dying a needless death for no fucking understandable reason versus my child dealing with racism, this is
Right.
this is a very dumb argument. I will move my family to fucking Alaska if that's where I need to move them if my child is going to die. Right?
Right.
Like,
What's the
what
point
the
of
fuck are you
keeping
talking
it
about?
real if the ultimate cost, the worst thing that can happen is the death of your child?
So if your argument is like, this is what we need to do as a people, I'm like, okay, before I commit to something like that, I need to hear you address a few things. If I lived in the south side of Chicago and you didn't want me to move out as a black person who's successful, how are we going to deal with the issue of us offing each other at an alarming rate? I won't use the term that triggers people, black on black crime, right? I'm not going to get into that.
Because it's used as a talking point for all sorts of
Yeah. I'll concede to your point, but you need to, if you want my money to stay in this community, then you need to tell me what we're going to do as a community to protect not your children, because you don't care about this shit, right? Not saying you don't care, but you're not addressing it. Why should I stay? Why should I stay? What is the
this is my problem with my friends who have like these socialist dreams. They're just like, I need to do it for the community. I need to do it for people. I'm like, if any of the members of your community had a chance to get out, they would. Why do you need to take the bullet for that?
So Mayor Adams, the current mayor of New York City, right?
Who I like, even though he's an narc.
you know, there was some controversy about where his address, right, where his family actually lives, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the things I heard popped up, and this is a very small group of people, they were like, he needs to be in here with us. But why does my family need to suffer, right? I could be in the community doing work in the community, but if the community is in an area where young children are being killed at an alarming rate, my family does not need to die for this cause. You need to prove that to me, how you can make that an argument. So let me lay it out for all you internet sleuths. Why should black wealth remain in the community if we cannot guarantee the safety of their family and children? There you go.
Oh, wait, hold on. So you know how I was saying we need more black entrepreneurs, we need more black billionaires, or we need more black men to do things like buy sports teams or have have things like that. They basically they need more like cool rich people jobs other than rapper, right?
Right.
But I wouldn't necessarily say, here's what I'm saying. You should bring the wealth and opportunities to the hood, but I understand if they want to move out of the hood. I completely fucking understand that. If you've actually gotten your bag and to stay in the hood, I don't know if it's necessarily smart. Stay connected to the hood. Help the hood. Help your people.
Right.
But I don't understand why you need to catch a bullet or your kid needs to catch a bullet.
Doesn't make any sense.
Some sort of message or, you know.
And if you feel a certain way about this conversation, we're like, that's not what we said. Well, then you need to define the terms. Like, are you okay with me moving out but investing into the community? Well, let's get some definition here. You know, I love a linear definition for things. I just like for things to be defined. I want to know what contract I'm signing. That's all I want to know.
DT says stop glorifying rappers. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, kids need something else other than sports stars and rappers to look up to. And that's why I'm saying we need black entrepreneurs who actually have made it in different fields to be role models for kids.
Yeah, start glorifying Magic John. Let me backpedal that real quick.
Please. We're on the verge of cancellation, please.
What's the next video? I sent you a few. I know we got good shit for there.
You did something right. I want to do a real quick one that has to do with nerddom.
Okay.
It's gonna take super quick. But it's Ryan Kinnell, and it's just funny. So I don't know if you've heard about what was going on with Star Wars, but you know how there's David Lindelof recently left Star Wars. He was writing the Rey movie, right?
Thank God. Thank God.
And so yeah, they got him off. And where's the time code? I got the time code real good. And so finally he's explaining to people, today he admitted I didn't leave. I was fired from that job.
Really?
Yeah, he was actually fired. And so let's see what thing he has to say about this. And so it's funny, not only just the article and the concept of the article, but what happens to Ryan right now when he experiences something.
Okay.
Try to get back in again? Absolutely. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again, or again, try, as Yoda would say. Thank God this guy didn't get a Star Wars movie. That's not what Yoda would say. Yoda would say, do or do not, there is no try, you stupid motherfucker. God, I didn't even read this article before. I didn't read this part of the article before we went live.
Look
but holy shit. This is Star Wars. This is Yoda. You're trying to take a line from Yoda and you fuck it up like that. Anyway, some interesting things.
But you see that? It's so funny that like Ryan Kinnell is such a, he's a Star Wars guy, that he realizes that this idiot, David Lindelof misquotes Yoda and he's trying to write a Star Wars movie.
Hey, listen, man, long gone are the days of people respecting what was done before. Everyone comes into a situation and like, how can I make it better? How can I?
Exactly. It's like some activist trying to write a Spider-Man movie, and he's like, it's like Uncle Ben used to say, responsibility ain't no thing, friend.
Right.
And setting off a Spider-Man, man. It's just so insane. But apparently, David Lindelof originally wanted the Rey movie to be about old Rey. They wanted to jump 80 years in the future and have Rey to be a decrepit old woman who has restored the Jedi Order. And it wouldn't really be about her. She would just be like a figure, like an important figure amongst them.
Right. Okay. Sounds like shit. The way it goes.
Here's what I'm saying. Any Rey script is going to end up being shit.
So before you go to the obvious argument, like, oh, you guys are toxic and you just don't respect a female Jedi. No, there's a clear path for Rey to be a better character, whether she turned out to be a Sith or a Jedi. And it was the exact opposite path that they took. That took us nowhere, right? So many things were hinted at about whose Rey's parents were, who she was. None of it made any sense.
I have like an actual very strong opinion that I think is like hard to prove, but like I've done the numbers in my own nerd head.
He's crunched the numbers,
and I believe where they went wrong. I know the exact moment where they went wrong.
Okay, and
it was in The Last Jedi, second one, after Rey and Kylo kill the Imperial Guard and they've killed Snoke.
The real version of the Imperial Guard, right?
Yes. That was a great scene. That was an amazing scene. I hate that movie, but I love that scene. And then what he says, she's like, you have to help my friends. And then he says, no. He's like, you don't understand. He's like, the Empire, the Rebellion, the Jedi, the Sith. Let's all burn it down and start again. You and me. And he takes his hand, and it's almost like he's proposing marriage or something to her. And of course, she says no. However, if you look at the story, it makes no sense why she would say no.
Right.
Luke was a prick to her. She has no mentors. No one's there for her.
Right.
Except her hot Sith boyfriend. I think the movie would have been significantly better if she had taken his offer and became Dark Rey there. And the third movie should have been about trying to turn her back.
No, that would, I mean, anything. So first, let me agree. I think that would have been great, right? Anything other than what we got. Actually, not only do I agree with your point, let me expound upon it. I think she should have been turned as a Sith way earlier.
Really?
I believe that at the onset of the second movie, or at the end of the first movie, right? we should have got some indication that she was prone to the dark side.
Yeah.
Let's look at the source material, right? In the source material, there's always evidence that someone has a proclivity to the dark side well before their turn.
As we see in children.
My kids, case in point. And I love them.
I got 3 Sith in my house.
I love them. I love them to death. I think that there should have been some indication that she was heading towards the dark side, had a proclivity towards the dark side in the beginning. Also, I would have changed the interaction at the beginning of the second movie in regards to Luke. I would have fucking gutted that entire thing. I would not have him be a failed Jedi master, right? I actually would have had Luke's Jedi temple thriving, because you know what's really menacing, right? Menacing the notion that the Jedi are on their way back, rebuilding, but making the same mistakes. And here come the Sith to remind them of why the Sith exist. The Jedi are a doctrinally dogmatic group who were blinded by their belief structure into trusting a political organization. That's right, Christians. I'm talking to you in regards to the alt-right, the alt-right and QAnon.
Wait, hold on. By the way, instead of giving a star for a comment, I want to give a star to my co-host, because you are hitting the nail on the fucking head right now.
Like it's
comparing it to other things. Religious institutions taking a backseat to a political one and thinking they're serving it, and somehow that's serving God, is insane.
It's asinine. You cannot call yourself a Christian, a Bible believing Christian, and then turn around in support of a clearly corrupt institution. Not to say that there weren't Christians calling out the institution saying, repent, turn back to your ways. But let's get back to Star Wars, right? That would have been great. That would have been great. And it doesn't have to mean that Luke led them down the wrong path, right? But when you have a centralized group of people who believe something, especially a group recovering after mass genocide, they might get some shit wrong. But watching the Sith present an alternative view to people who are questioning this new Jedi temple, that's the story we should have got.
Yeah.
That's the story we should have got, bro. Yeah. Instead, what we got was motherfuckers doing flips over water.
I do agree. If I was going to do, and so my idea for the dark ray thing was just like a soft like change, which would have gone a long way. But what you're saying is like hard change. Yes, if I did a hard change, there's like so much I would change, like so much. But one of the things I would do is definitely, you cannot make Luke the bitch of the story. He already went through his own trilogy. He's a hero. When she got to Octu or whatever, he should have had mad Jedi around him and like they actually be helping, and he actually trained well. Like you cannot destroy his legacy, and Rian Johnson should burn in fucking hell for what he did. And I hope he gets. I just stopped myself from saying
Whoa.
I'm mellow.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna finish that because we're on the verge of being canceled. Like I said,
they call us mellow yellow.
Let me just say, I hope Rian Johnson has medical issues in the coming days. So
I hope he has the same issues as James Gunn, is what Mantis is saying. But yeah, that's my thing. So like, rock the video.
Oh, well, I mean, that was it. I just wanted to watch him flip out. But
about what Damon Lindelof was planning.
Oh, is there nothing else?
That it was still going to be focused on Rey, but not on Daisy Ridley's Rey, on an elderly Rey Skywalker. They would have done a massive time jump. Lucasfilm recently revealed.
Like, I gotta acknowledge the obvious, right? Subjective, factual. Gotta go to these things, right? So I know that somewhere, somehow, someone's looking at this guy right now on the screen and going, "Oh my god, he has such a punchable face." That's true, and it has nothing to do with his political like beliefs in regards to me. I'm looking at him and I'm just like, I don't know, man. Something primal in me says you don't deserve your portion of food.
Yeah, well, I think he actually, that's how he gets clicks, though.
Okay.
Because he's extremely angry and has rage fits over like little things.
Right.
I mean, people tune in to watch the next flip out.
No, 100%. I do. I took one issue of what he did because he thought it was so funny, but it was stupid. And I was just like, you wouldn't do that if you weren't in a safe situation. So he was at Disney with some other content creator. I think someone else from Geeks and Gamers. I don't want to like fuck the story up, so don't quote me. Shout out to Geeks and Gamers. And they're, not Disney. It couldn't have been Disney. Whatever theme park has to do with The Simpsons.
Okay.
In the Simpson lore, there's their version of Davy Crockett, and he's standing over a bear he killed.
Jebediah Springfield or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So he's in front of that statue, and he's like, "Yo, hey, check this out." And it's George Floyd, or he alluded to he was the cop that stood on kneeled on George Floyd's neck. And I was just like, you thought that was funny, but in actuality, you look like a punk. Because I don't feel like you would say that, even if you were like even if you go to the lowest forms of Black America, you would not do that in front of a thug. Fuck it. I don't think you would do it in front of the black guy in Starbucks.
Yeah, definitely not. He's in a very safe space.
Yeah.
He's doing his thing. I've seen through. I don't want to diss Ryan, but I do say I've seen through his grift. I get it.
The slight
I could never do it. Pretend to be outraged at everything. I just don't even have the context.
Yeah, because there's some things that happen in Marvel. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I just don't give a fuck. All right. Moving on.
So Matt says, okay, I had to bail for a hot minute. Can anyone fill me in on what we're talking about? Why is RK Outpost on the screen? What is he yelling about today? Which is a perfect way to prove that he's an over angry dude. Star Wars Matt. I hope Ryan Johnson gets misgendered.
Fuck. like a medical procedure, like he's in a situation like, hey man, I don't know. Do you think it's really a man? Should we?
I think he's implying that Ryan Johnson is clearly a softie and emotionally he can't deal with it. So just someone say the wrong gender and he'll flip out. He'll be like, oh God, I can't come to work today. Someone misgendered me.
Wait. Which one of the two directors in the trilogy had some accusations in regards to small people? Not little people, but smaller people, as in young human beings or females. Was it Ryan Johnson or Singer? Or did I get that wrong?
You're gonna Singer, yes. Singer had a lot of child.
Who directed the first Star Wars movie?
No, that was J.J. Abrams. He's not.
Oh,
he's
Abrams.
Not
Okay. Sorry.
He's just an opportunist. He's not a pervert. Singer did the X-Men. He
first
he was
class.
having these parties and packing young actors or whatever.
That guy. Okay.
Oh yeah, that dude. Yeah, I mean, that's. Here's the thing. It's crazy when people are like, "Well, Hollywood doesn't do X, Y, and Z. It's individuals." I feel like there's so many reports of shit that happens in Hollywood. It's almost like they're trained. They'll be like, "You want to be a director, kid? Start molesting people."
Whoa.
Right? It just feels that way because they do it so often.
Okay.
His face is very punchable, says Bex.
Yeah. So Mantis, let's talk about that Star Wars girl. She has been like properly shadow banned. Doesn't mean I agree with it, but
my future wife.
Your future ex-wife.
My future.
I just realized the other day, man. I'm sorry, yesterday. I get her pop-ups on IG, but I never see her videos on fucking YouTube anymore.
Strange. I always watch her videos.
I'm subbed to her channel. They never come up in my fucking algorithm. Ever. Now, I do want to point out, never mind, that's for a private conversation. I think that she's definitely a fit for Mantis's next ex-girlfriend, for sure. Like 100%.
Yeah, she has. She's hitting all the marks. We can talk about Star Wars all day. We can talk about Marvel all day. She's in Marvel too. It would be great, but I just know the fights would be epic, which would lead to other epic things. I'm not going to get into it, but as we all know, it'd be epic. But eventually, that would lose its luster. And next thing you know, Mantis is in jail or he's in lockup. Some misunderstanding. So,
cue up the next video. Unfortunately, I'm turning 43 May 30th. I gotta pee.
Oh, I'm concerned. He said, Mantis, Star Wars is dead. I unfortunately agree with that. I think the direction they're going is only going to bury it more. I don't know if you guys heard. There's rumors that Johnny Favs is leaving because what's her face, Kathleen Kennedy, interjected and messed with Mando season 3, and he's such an artiste, and I respect this, but he's pissed that happened, and he's walking. And so Johnny Favs is leaving. They're having a Rey sequel. Like, I mean, how much worse? Oh, what the hell? Sorry, guys.
Oh my god.
Yeah, before we get into the next thing.
Wait. Let me roll this shit out. So this
before you do, we need to finish the last topic.
Okay, go for it.
Matt said Star Wars is dead. So basically, the rumors are Johnny Favs is leaving because Kathleen Kennedy made him do all sorts of weird shit.
It's not true. The rumors are not true.
I
She's
think it
out.
might be possible too. I don't know if she's out. I don't think she's out.
She's out, bro. There's no way they keep her, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. There is a rumor that he wanted to do most of Mandalorian season 2 without Grogu, and she made him put him back in immediately because she's like, well, he sells to the audience.
Okay,
and he's pissed that she interfered and that he might walk. That's the rumor.
That's the rumor. All right. Obviously, anything can happen. I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen or if that rumor was true. Here's my issue. I did not have as strong a response to Mandalorian season 3. In actuality, the only thing that sucked about it to me personally was I felt like it wasn't long enough. I felt like if you're going to go in that direction as a story, it should have been like 15 episodes.
Can I interject on what you're saying right here?
Yeah, go for it.
I agree with you, but here's the problem that I have. Many episodes, not many, but a couple, they wasted our fucking time, particularly the Jack Black Lizzo one. And I'm saying, like, they could have carved those stories out and put I hear what you're saying, the Mandalorian story in there.
Yeah. So and I agree with you. I obviously agree with you.
I don't need to see Jack Black and Lizzo be weaponized in some
But
sort of
you know what's crazy? I would not have minded an episode about the droids and them being used and weaponized in a way that could harm the New Republic or citizens of the New Republic. But I think that's something that's done in another show, right?
But if it was good, I'd enjoy it, but I just didn't. I was not entertained that entire episode.
No. I mean, there was some gems, but here's the thing, right? In regards to Mando season 3, I was not upset with Grogu being there. I was not upset with him being in the robot. I actually thought that type of stuff was endearing. But I
like the robot.
Yeah, the problem was the foundation of it, right? You did have the Lizzo episode. It interrupts the flow. If the entire season was about Mandalorians reclaiming Mandalore, we don't need any other distractions from that.
Right.
We don't need any. So, I hate to say this, man. I think if you cut out that 25 minutes or 15 or 5 minutes of Lizzo and Jack Black and the robot shit, and it's just about her reuniting the Mandalorian tribes, this season ends great.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely agree with that. Absolutely. But I would say that, like, even Grogu in the first couple of episodes, like for at least half the season, he did nothing. He was just standing around. Because he wasn't originally meant to be in the story.
So here's what I think. I don't agree with that point, but I agree with Star Wars theory. I think the show The Mandalorian is not about Din. I think it's actually about baby Grogu. I think it's about baby Grogu, the foundling, the Mandalorian.
He's the Mandalorian. I agree. I would agree with that too. I think it makes sense that even if Din dies, as long as Grogu stays in the story, it's fine because we want to watch him become the Mandalorian. Yeah.
Because here's what we got in true anime fashion, man. At the end of season 3, spoiler alerts, the mythical beast that Homegirl encountered was not referenced again. I was starting to get very mad at this last episode. I was like, why the fuck did they bring that up and not reference it? Until we got some old school anime shit where baby Grogu after being adopted by Din. I thought that scene was amazing. It's like, no, he can't be a Mandalorian because he can't speak the creed, but he adopted him officially as his son.
But that was implied already. We all assumed he was his dad.
No. Implied versus what's true according to what's going on with the characters. The Mandalorians are very, very literal. So for that to happen, I thought that was great.
Well,
right?
they're literal sometimes, unless somebody's like, by the way, this sword belongs to her. They're like, no, you need to win it in combat. No, I dropped it once and she picked it up. Oh, okay.
Actually, I see. I knew you were going to go there. I felt like this actually brought some political subterfuge and strife into the story, right? So she is she got it outside of the lore of this show and very questionable standards, right? It was given to her.
So questionable.
Right? And then she gave it to someone else on behalf of bartering for her, for her people. I actually, in retrospect, looking at what Din said, like, hey, if she lost it under questionable standards, and then you're saying I am the rightful owner under your, the objective standards of our people, I lost it under those objective standards. This person claimed it under those objective standards, right?
They needed to fight, period. They needed to fight. Even if it's not to the death. Like she should have beaten him and been like, I've defeated you and taken it. But still,
wait, you're a guy that hates lazy and obvious writing. So you're okay with
the laziest writing I have ever literally seen was on Mando, that episode, where he's just like, they're like, she needs to win it. He's like, by the way, I was defeated by someone else, and she picked this up when I was defeated. Isn't that hers? No, motherfucker. The writers set up the problem that they need to fight over it. So they need to fight over it.
Well, let me ask you this question, right? If they're going in a direction where they're like, the problem with Mandalore has been division, right? And everyone is supposed to be united around the dark saber, but they never really have, right? You can't give an instance where they actually have rallied around the leader of the dark saber after Mandalore.
Right. Here's what I would have done. I would have had her fight him, beat him, not kill him, and then afterwards he still serve her. He's like, I'm still gonna serve you. I don't have beef. You're the leader. I love you. That would have been amazing.
I'm with that. I actually don't have any problem. If I was going off of what you're saying right now, what I actually would have done was what you're saying, but it would have been at the beginning of the season, right? She would have sought him out.
Yeah, that would have been great. Absolutely. It's weird that she didn't. Because
she would have sought him out.
Why would she not go?
Here's the caveat. She would not have sought him out as if he were a villain. Like, she wouldn't show up like, you stole my birthright. She's like, no. She should have showed up as the type of person that said, you've done nothing wrong. But for me to claim my birthright properly.
For honor, we have to fight. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I would have been okay with a cat and mouse situation throughout the season. But let's get to Grogu being the Mandalore.
Right.
That's what's going to save the show if they land it. If he is the actual Mandalorian, right? Because now they legitimize Din's camp, right? They're like, okay, you guys are with us. You fought hard with us. Foundlings are Mandalorians, right? If this show doesn't end with that kid being their fucking Mandalore, fuck it.
I don't know what's going on with the show. It seems like they've had some problems with writing. I don't think it was smooth. It's not as smooth or as fun as the last two.
That's the problem right there. One, our expectation is 20% of the problem. 20%. The other 80% is their bullshit fucking writing.
My man. Yo, do you remember we did me, you, Courtney, aka Shaolin Iceboxer, and Gray Winthrop did a watch along of the finale. And do you remember that I think most of us were brought to tears at the finale? It had Luke Skywalker. It had him cutting things down.
Don't do that.
It had all these crazy things.
You guys were brought to tears the same way old conservators are brought to tears when they see Donald Trump.
No, Reagan. When we see Reagan. When I see a movie, when I see an image of Reagan, I just cry. I was like, "That's a Republican," but not Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? That is not what we're feeling. I cry for different reasons.
Moving on. Allow us to take you from that fandom, that nerdom that you expect from fanboy. Something else. So the young lady sitting here right now throwing up witch signs, right? You know, you can find something on YouTube that supports my theory. She has made a great deal of videos exposing 90s era mogul hip hop entrepreneurs. So the first time she came on my radar, she exposed the fact that the person you know as Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Sean Combs, right? You and I both know him as Puff Daddy.
Right.
That motherfucker. She did a video, very short, chronological, like just the fact that everyone that was involved with his original record label, Uptown Records, has befallen some type of tragedy. But
are you implying conspiracy?
No. P. Diddy, allegedly, is the only person that is on the upward trajectory. Now, remember,
actually on the upward?
My guy, Bad Boys music and Bad Boys entertainment is almost non-existent. You know who survived all that shit? P. Diddy. There's a reason.
What is he doing right now? How is he?
Allegedly, there's a reason that the locks don't F with P. Diddy anymore.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
You know, Kanye's line, I feel like Bad Boy Street Team. I couldn't work the locks.
Bro, I'm just trying to tell you. I mean, I'm just trying to lay out this shit here. Rumble fans, all 9 of you, when we move over there 100%, I will speak more freely. But I'm trying to tell you, this young lady is pointing some shit out.
Mantis Puff Daddy, I thought he was dead.
He's like Highlander.
Like, he can't die. He can't. So that's the backstory. We're going to see this?
Yeah, that's the backdrop of how I was exposed to her. Start the video over because what she says is may not be true. It may not be true. No, your line is no. Pull it back. Pull it back.
No, that's the beginning.
Okay, kick it.
Ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. He showed up as the nigga that was with Big L. Yes. Big L was who put Jay-Z.
I believe that.
And then Big L died, and the next thing you know, Jay-Z doing songs with Biggie and building a working camaraderie with Honeycombs. And then Biggie died, Tupac died. There was the
is she pitching a conspiracy theory?
Yes, start it over, bro. You need you need to watch this shit.
Wait, is she pitching a conspiracy?
Yes,
You know, Big L is my boy, right? You know, Big L is my.
Wait, before you hit play, Big L and Biggie, you can make the argument commercially wise or even underground wise. Who was jockeying for the position as the #1 MC in New York? I'm a Big L fan, ride or die, man.
Right.
But I don't think he was a commercial success. Biggie, on the other hand, was.
Well, here's what I'm saying. That's what makes him so cool. Because you have to know about him to be down with him.
No, of course. I'm not discrediting his legacy, anything like Big L is respected. His name rings bells. What I'm telling you is in regards to commercial success, would Jay-Z be as big as he is if Biggie wasn't alive? I'm talking about commercial monetary success. Think about that for a second. What need would there be for a Jay-Z if Biggie was still alive?
I know, and he definitely, after Biggie died, Jay-Z was name dropping all the time. He's like, "Yeah, me and my boy Biggie." I'm like, "Were you really?"
You had to grow up in New York to understand what man.
Yeah, was he really that close to Biggie? Because he claims that he was after he died.
Play the video. Play the video.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. He showed up as the nigga that was with Big L.
Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on. And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z doing songs with Biggie and building a working camaraderie with honeycombs. And then Biggie died, Tupac died. There was the fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z. And then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game, and then saw Jay-Z. He was in any relationship.
Oh, no, wait, I gotta pause.
That's a perfect pause right there.
This conspiracy is too wild for even me. Because that literally makes Jay-Z he makes him Palpatine. Speaking of Star Wars, he's Senator Palpatine, right?
Wait. Continue your thought, but I just gotta interject this, man. Don't look at Jay-Z as a victim. This motherfucker is smart. And I just want to throw out there, we all can, it's easy to hate Dame Dash. Dame Dash makes it very easy to hate him.
Is she suggesting he had Big Al, Biggie, Tupac all killed?
No,
he had Nas sent to an insane.
No, she's not suggesting it. She's saying that there are circumstances which happened in which Jay-Z may have been uplifted. Now, remember, we're talking about the same Jay-Z.
Suggesting he did him? He calls him?
No, that's not what she suggested.
Okay, that's crazy. That's a little nuts.
But I'm gonna say something right now, right? And it has nothing to do with conspiracy theories. Jay-Z has never, in my mind, in my estimation, ever been such a great lyricist where he should be held in such high regard as a Big L or as a Biggie.
I am 1,000,000% behind you, brother. I say that all the time. I remember I said that in front of Joey, and Joey was like, "What?" No,
Jay-Z's not that guy. He's
all hype. He's all hype.
He's got amazing songs, but he's not that guy in my mind.
I don't think he's horrible. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying there are many rappers I'd put ahead of him.
Yeah. Hit play.
Look at how he did Dame. If you're a halfway into
Poor Dame Dash.
we start questioning how lucky some motherfuckers keep getting.
Right. That's what she's claiming. You have to question how lucky some people get, man.
Is he backed by Satan? No, this is a good conspiracy theory. You know why? I believe that Beyonce is in league with the devil.
Yeah, no, I would be 100% in agreement with that, bro.
And he's working all this evil angle, and then he ends up with her. Come on, man. This is Satan working.
So here's the thing about the quintessential making a deal with the devil thing. A lot of people just see the person that's like, I want to be famous, and then I made a deal with the devil, and I got fame, right? And then we all know that at the end of the Twilight Zone episode, they don't get the fame that they want, or some shit happens, right? But a lot of people, in my estimation, don't understand the deal they're making, right? And that's what makes them the perfect satanic propagator. A dude like Jay-Z, who I believe thinks he's being well-intentioned by growing his hair out like Jean-Michel Basquiat, who thinks that he's on some spiritual journey.
Oh yeah, he looks a hobo right now.
He doesn't understand, man. Or maybe he does understand. I don't know. I'm not in his mind, man. In my estimation, should not be lauded as hip-hop's crown. So let's keep it on some hip-hop shit. Nas bodied him on that song. Absolutely bodied him. You know when the demons are conspiring for you? When motherfuckers try to make a legible argument that that Jay-Z bodied him. Ether was the nail in the coffin.
What a great track. What an amazing track. Mantis, remember when Solange smacked the shit out of Jay-Z on the elevator?
But why did she smack him? Tell him, man.
Yeah, I honestly really do think that he has been working towards some devil shit, and then eventually the devil's like, we'll marry Beyonce, and it'll be the ultimate satanic couple. That's where the Mantis is coming from. Steve, you there? All right, I guess not, but we will Keep playing this.
To get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there. See, what's done in the dark will definitely come in the light. Keep your threats up. I'm here today, and what I got to say, I'm gonna say it. So don't make idle threats to me. Cause see, I ain't Biggie. See, I ain't Beanie Siegels.
Oh,
I ain't Freeway. How you wrote all them off the minute they did for you to get you to the top. Jay-Z and Puffy wanted Biggie killed. Bottom line.
Over the years, many internet users have speculated that the most successful people in the entertainment industry are all members of a secret occult society that sacrifices its own members. But it seems those stories are more than just theories, as one of the elites has decided to break the beans on them. And you guessed it, it's 50 Cent. In addition, unlike in the past, the rapper's statements are backed up by genuine proof that everyone appears to have access to, yet is missing the point.
You know what's funny?
Wow. This is going places.
You know what's funny about a dude like 50 and why he's not considered a part of the Illuminati, but I think you can make a counter argument to it, is that he's an anarchist in regards to the establishment when it comes to hip hop. Like
he's a real thug. He's actually a real thug, and like,
yeah,
you didn't learn how to play these games with these people.
Yo, everyone wants to talk about King Von being a serial killer. Allegedly, I want to throw that hard allegedly out there, but if you don't look at 50 Cent and think that this fool's got bodies and he's the type of dude that goes like, if I can take a life, do you think any of this bullshit subjective nonsense you're levying my way means anything to me? Like, a dragon has no concerns about the qualms of man.
So, guys, I would like to, right? And I would like to point something out. You guys know Fetty Wap, right?
Yes.
So Fetty Wap becomes big. He blows up, right? He then does an interview where he says he went to a party where all the Black Illuminati was trying to make him worship the devil. So he blows up the spot. He's like, I went to a party and all these other rappers and all these people, they were doing some satanic shit. I wasn't about it, and he left. Later on, he gets into a motorcycle crash and he gets arrested and he's locked up.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's all the man's saying right now.
Allegedly. Hard allegedly.
Yeah, it's hard allegedly, but like I don't know. I believe it. I believe it.
So you don't need to go any further with this video, man. But the young lady that made the initial shit, you can play it if you want. She has done some great commentary, like her stuff in regards to Puffy and the Uptown experience. Uptown Records is what I'm referring to. You have to be plugged into hip hop to know that it's very, very strange that to look at Puffy's ascent. If you're an agnostic, an atheist, or a pragmatist, I understand where you're coming from. But if you look at Puffy's ascent, could you not concede that maybe there's some demonic?
Puffy's ascent, absolutely. Rebeck says, yes, Steve. I believe Beyonce's father suggested that. Is Beyonce's father the devil? I don't think her father is the devil, but I think he's a devil worshiper. I think there's definitely some satanic shit. And I believe her backup dancer, who said she practices fucking weird satanic
spirit cooking. Let me ask you a question. Could someone not know that their actions and their deeds are in fact worship of Satan?
Well, that's funny. You should ask. Because the truth is, if the Mantis could just be real right now, most of our society right now is actually under control of Satan. And so Satan wants us to not just, the way you worship him is you worship things that are not spiritual or good. So you worship sexuality, you worship money, you worship materialism, and he has tricked mainstream society into believing that this is the way to do. These celebrities worship it harder than us.
Wait, are you trying to say that an all encompassing evil entity would want people to believe that they should not worship him juxtaposed into what Christians or the Judeo experience is, that all glory should go to God? Like, no, all glory shouldn't go to me. Hey, I'm your friend. All glory should go to you. Are you trying to suggest that a being like that
Yes, exactly. Because as long as you're robbing the glory from God, he wins.
Wait, my mind is blown right now. Are you suggesting that this evil being would say, "Hey, believe in yourself, believe in nothing else"?
Yes, I'm blatantly saying that. I'm not even suggesting. I'm blatantly saying that.
No, I think I think you're anti-woke, and I just don't understand where you're coming from. So how could me believing that I am the center of my own individual universe be a problem for the rest of the world?
And the world revolves around you and your feelings and your opinions and how you feel right now are the most important thing, as opposed to anything else in the world.
No, Mantis, it could be me. I'm slow. I don't understand. I say 10 affirmations to myself in the mirror every day about my amazingness. How is that a problem?
You're strong enough, you're beautiful enough, and god damn it, people like you. That's satanic, bro. That is actually satanic. I hate to be the guy to do it. It's not Pastor Mantis, it's normal Mantis who has learned a thing or three. These affirmations, this self-love, is all a part of some sort of demonic thing to rob the glory from God. To do this. And so I will say it. I know people think, oh, you're crazy. You're a crazy Christian. Look at the world. Take a minute. Anyone who's listening to this, take a minute and look at the world. You want to tell me the sexualization of children on the internet or the grooming of children throughout whatever? I'm not going to finish that sentence because I know it's political. Like all these things, the glory of you, the worship of yourself, particularly on the internet where you glorify yourself when you're doing fitness posts, when you're doing whatever.
Right.
Tell me that is not evil. And I bet you just take a minute, anyone. Feel your feelings right now. I bet you deep down inside, you know it's wrong.
Wait. It could be me. I'm sure of it. I did have some Starbucks today, so that could have it could be fucking with me. So you're trying to tell me that
You're
I'm
the devil. Starbucks.
You're trying to tell me that I am not the center of the universe, right? And my want
your social media.
Wait, no. I won't allow you to oppress me right now, sir. You're trying to tell me that I don't have my own reality, my own subjective reality, where morality is conditioned and relative to what I feel in that moment. Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry, friendo. I love you, but you may be worshiping the devil.
Wait, are you trying to tell me that worshiping myself and propping myself up on a pedestal above others is somehow
hashtag self-love, self-care? All these people who do crazy shit in the name of self-love, they're like, I realized I never loved myself enough, and that's why I never did. The truth is, these people
loved yourself too much.
You love yourself too fucking much, and then you know what? Fucking rein it in, bro. You need to rein.
You know what the greatest fucking out is, and in today's age is the fact that like I did it because it's right. What was right for me.
Oh God! Did you see the whole thing about the woman who left her boyfriend who had cancer because
yes, I literally
mental health.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
People are animals.
Shout out to the 14 people who are here in Rumble, and which lets me know this is not Go Live because the number has steadily gone up. Welcome to Fanboy Modeling School. I'm Steve, real name no gimmicks.
I am the Fat Mantis,
and we're your humble host. Humble.
Matt says, "Remember that movie Devil takes place on the elevator?" Oh wait, are you talking about the fucking M Night movie? That was horrible.
Solange beat the shit out of Jay-Z on an elevator. Jay-Z made a deal with the devil. Coincidence?
I think not. Solange is doing an exorcism.
Yo, here's the real truth about that, right, man? So I
Well,
disagree, man. It was extremely clever. I think Jay-Z showed the utmost level of restraint because if you look at Solange, you realize she weighs about the same amount as a ramen noodle from your local supermarket. And just like a ramen noodle,
the cheap shit, not the good shit. the 19 cents a pack shit.
If Jay-Z was so inclined, just like you can crush a ramen noodle pack with less than no effort, Well, you know I'm going with this. You know,
Oh yeah, I, I love how you stopped yourself.
you know.
Greenback says, "Ain't nothing wrong with positive affirmations in the morning." To an extent. And so what I'm saying is everything is all right in moderation, other than devil worship. Um, but I would say affirmations are good if you live off of affirmations, or you live off of a concept of what do they call it? When they make something materialize just by their thoughts, what is it called?
Actualization.
Yeah, actualization and all that stuff. If you live and breathe by that, that's when it starts getting satanic.
Wait, are you telling me that through positive affirmation and self-actualization and positive affirmation that I can't just will some shit into existence?
So having a positive energy, being like, I think I'm going to get the job today after I have my interview, is good. Believing you can will it into existence because you're so powerful and you're a god is probably not the way to go.
Wait, so what's wrong with everyone thinking that they're a god, insurmountable supreme being of their own personal reality?
So I hate
Would
to
you
break
say
it
that
to
it's the
both of you.
same problem as everyone being entitled to their own version of the truth?
Wait, whoa. This argument right now. Because here's what I'm saying.
Manifesting. Bex corrected it. It's
Manifesting. That's
manifest
the word.
some
Thank
shit.
you, Betsy.
Manifest.
Oh. Yeah. Here's what
Manifest.
Here, basically,
manifest it.
yeah, it's all manifested. No, F that. Here's what I'm saying. To do any of this stuff on a limited level is fine, but when you forget, when you do not have the humility to understand that you aren't in control of reality, you have rejected God, and this is a bad thing. And some people are like, well, I'm not religious. I'm a Satanist. I hug trees. I make out with trees. That's my religion. Well, good. I'll see you in hell, bro.
Wait, so here's the thing about the whole manifestation concept, right? I love sometimes the goalpost gets moved in the argument because many of these people have never encountered this theory. Many, not all, but many, from a book called The Secret, right? And if I am to believe The Secret and then the film adaptation, I think it, thus it is. So you and I both understand the simple principles of physics and materialism and all these things, right? You cannot create from nothing. So if you're telling me that your thought process alone manifests the desired outcomes you wish, I'm going to say you're a lunatic.
It's
now,
not from nothing. There is a cost to manifest.
Well, here's the thing, right? Now, if you were to say to me that I worked hard, I put in the effort, I took opportunities when they were presented, and I took chances when needed, and then my outcome yielded me a result in which I am extremely happy. If you're calling that manifesting, well, we're going to have to look at the definition of the word, aren't we? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Definitions hold no ground in this argument.
Right, nowadays.
Because
Satan's regime, there's no definition. Not man, woman, up, down. There's no such thing as gravity under Satan's regime. We can change words as we see fit. It's interesting. I remember there was a stream where I remember it was Miss Hippie who was pushing back on me. I was pointing out the way this was the Satan stream with me and Lainey. And so Lainey's in the chat. Love you, Lainey. We were talking about it, and I was talking about like no, it wasn't Satan. We were talking about magic. And I was talking about the ancient ways they do magic and all this stuff, and I'm describing it. And Miss Hippie was the one who was like, well, that's just manifestation. That's just the secret. And I'm like, it's not just the secret. The secret got it from ancient texts. The secret is trying to make it normalized and simple and be like, it's just manifestation. You're not practicing witchcraft. You're manifesting, yo. It's all good, guys. That's what that book was sent to do.
Well, here's the interesting thing about it, right? And so you can use this as a standard to hold me by, right? But it's something I believe as someone who professes Christianity, but does not live up to the standard. I do not trust people who use the words secret knowledge, right? Because when you look at religion or spirituality as a whole, there's clear standards into what's regarded or needed to reach a certain point, right? Christianity, you must say that there is no way to God but through Jesus, right? Who we believe to be God. You must repent and follow Jesus, right? You must confess him as Lord. That's what Christians believe. In Judaism, there is no God but our God above us, and he has sent down these laws in which we must live. This is the standard, right? They don't do it perfectly. In Islam, there is no God but the God, and Muhammad is his last prophet, his divine prophet, right? Here's where this conversation gets weird, right? All three of those religions, the big three, you only see cults pop up when someone says, "Oh no, that's true, but we got some other shit you didn't hear."
Right.
Like, we got some shit that you didn't know. The secret sauce. God not only sent down those revelations, but to these people and this particular person, there was a specific revelation. Let me stop you. Let me head you off at the past. There's some atheists out there with their Cheeto dust falling out their nose. They're like, well, isn't that what Christianity is? In actuality, it isn't. Jesus never claimed to have any secret knowledge. He only pointed people back to what they should be doing in the beginning if you think about Judaism. The difference between that and Islam is that's why you have the hadiths.
Right.
Hadiths are the oral traditions of Muhammad recorded after the revelation that was given to him. I'm going to get a little controversial. Are you okay with this, right? The Talmud.
In controversy.
The
we
Talmud.
make out every night.
You know what the Talmud is, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be secret knowledge.
Secret knowledge of
other than what was
Jewish
presented.
hierarchy.
Other than the revelation of possibly seeing your creator at the top of a mountain after sending a man up there, him coming back down with 2 tablets, like, this is it, definitively. This is it, right?
If you guys are wondering, that it comes from the book of Jubilees, and so there was a Bible book that didn't make it into mainstream Bible. It's called the Book of Jubilees. It describes all the crazy visions Moses had when he was up there, and they left those visions out. And so the Talmud is made up of, its starting part is all those visions.
So, deal with your own historical facts. And then when you get to Buddhism, a lot of people think that Buddhism is a lot, like, way more subjective than it actually is. But if you understand Buddhism and have actually historically studied it, there are scrolls. There's lineage in Buddhism.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
There's lineage in Buddhism.
I don't know if I've ever told you guys this. And so my mother and my father were Nichiren Shoshu Buddhists. They joined this kind of hippie movement when they were Buddhists, when they were young. And so I have like aunts and uncles. They're aunts and uncles, not biologically connected, but they're part of that same group. Some might call it a cult, but I don't know if I won't use those words right now. They're Nichiren Buddhists. They chant Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. They do all this stuff. I remember when I was taking Kung Fu and I went to go see them, and they're like, "Oh, you're taking Kung Fu?" And I was like, "Yes." And I explained, I was like, "Yeah, he's a Zen Buddhist." And they were immediately like, "No, that is not good. Zen Buddhists are lost animals," basically, is what they said.
Right.
And they need to be destroyed. And I was like, what? My master needs to be destroyed? But like, and you realize that like people always look, they take Buddhism, they put it high on the pedestal.
Yeah.
It's just as factualized as any other religion.
And it can
Don't
be
kill each
extremely dogmatic, man. When you think about a position like the Dalai Lama or the Buddha, right? There are strict guidelines of who's considered a Buddha, the reincarnation of Buddha.
Right.
There are very strict guidelines. I always find it so amazing. Into the conversation about manifestation. Here's where this conversation gets really, really interesting, right? Because it's divided into so many different sects. But I have honed in on people who have been intellectually dishonest in regards to this. they will pivot back and forth from the manifestation of things that you create with your mind to the things that you have done in discipline. They do it all the time, and it bugs me out, man. I'm like, wait, did I manifest it, or did through discipline did I increase the outcome of me getting a positive result?
Yo, so I'm gonna share something also that like is kind of personal, but fuck it, it's about my old man. And for those who don't know, I do not like my father. I don't have a good relationship with my father. He was never in the picture. However, he was a young hippie who was into Buddhism. And the way he decided to be a Buddhist is he went to one of these groups. They often found homeless or people who were crashing hippies, and they were like, "Yo, you should come over, try to be a Buddhist." And like one of the things about Buddhism or Nichiren Buddhism is also manifestation. It's like you chant for what you want happens.
Right.
And so my father hadn't at the time didn't have a place to live. He didn't have anything going on for himself, but he wanted to get high. He was like, I wish I could get high. So he hung out with this group and he chanted that he could get high. And he actually told the story. I remember when I was a little kid. He said, I want to get high. And I walked to the park and I sat down on a bench and I noticed a bag at my feet, like on the side. And it was a bunch of weed in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, a little kid, I'm like, wow, he made magic happen. But when you grow up, you're like, that shit is satanic.
You know what the interesting
You
thing
manifested dope, brother.
You know what the interesting thing about that is, depending on what scrolls or sect of Buddhism you're from, they have varying different views on elevation through the aid of chemicals. And allow me to point that out, right? So the thought of enlightenment, as I understand it, from many Buddhists that I've met, is through personal sacrifice, self-denial, and reaching a higher plane. If I get high, is that really a form of self-denial?
Yo, well said. That's not self-denial. You're fucking indulging, right? But yo, in the chat we have obviously Rebacks. We've had that up for a while. You guys are making my crystals angry. Oh, that's adorable. Lady says, I think spirituality is completely different from following the devil. Love you too. But manifestation can come from any powerful entity, including God. And so the argument would be that if you are manifesting through God, then you're worshiping God, and therefore that's all right. But if you're doing it from another power, particularly Satan, probably is not good. Matt would say, speaking of manifestation, do you guys watch that show Manifest? I don't think it has anything. Manifest is about the plane, right? I do not watch that show. Sorry to keep clearing my throat, guys. It's a dry spring. You know what I mean?
I just realized we've been on for 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Because we are on fire right now.
I got some party wings calling my name. If you don't know what party wings are, that's a New York term for hot wings. For some New Yorkers.
I'm so jealous right now. All I'm going to do is keep drinking this
goblet, this endless goblet of liqueur that you have. So what do you got going on this week, my guy?
I have Rogue Planet on Thursdays. Obviously, we have
Pillow
Talk on Wednesdays, right? Thursdays we've got Rogue Planet. There is no Men Supporting Men this week. Actually, I'm gearing up. I'm like preparing myself real much. Like I feel like I'm Johnny Carson about to do like a USO show for the close of Spoon. It's 2 weeks away. May 16th, Tuesday. I'm preparing shit. I'm like, what am I gonna say? Who am I gonna mention? Who's gonna come? I gotta make sure people come. It's a whole thing. But guys, the real event this month, I got to say, other than this motherfucker's birthday, which is at the end. But halfway through there, we're gonna have The Spoon End Party. The end of Spoon is happening. It is
Wait,
Tuesday the
wait,
6th.
wait.
You, either in my Discord or on Spoon. It's been great.
Legally, you have to say allegedly. They say they're coming back in 7 months.
I don't legally have to say shit about this losers. You know why they're not coming back? Why are Spoon followers the most delusional? They're like, I think they're coming back. I remember somebody said the originals are coming back. I think my original's coming back. I'm like, wake up! I just want to slap him in the face and be like, wake the fuck up! When have you ever seen an app take a hiatus? Imagine if TikTok took a hiatus. Imagine if YouTube took a hiatus. That's absurd.
Yo, the
hiatus.
Wait, no, your logic doesn't make sense. The top live will have anywhere between 16 to 18 people. Why would that app need to take a hiatus?
Right, exactly. You're talking about that whole thing. I saw, God bless her. I love Stacy. Stay is my girl, man. I love her so much.
Time ASMR.
And she's like, yeah, the greatest ASMR woman ever. She's a great human. Forgive her. She's Canadian.
Right.
We're not all perfect. But like she was saying, she's like, it's just the hiatus guy. And I teared up. I was like, you poor naive girl.
You know who you are? You are the guy outside the town with the tablets, like, abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
Yo, you guys need to abandon all hope. Yeah, that's why I'm having the Spoon Party. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have a good time.
Give me a good time.
It's gonna be sad too, but you know why? This will the last time you see Spoon.
Yo, so I'm really teetering on the idea because I think I just want to sit back and watch the world burn in your stream. I was teetering on the idea of doing a request box live, playing music into the end of Spoon. And let me tell you where that comes from. So once upon a time when the PlayStation 3 launched, there was a thing called PlayStation Home. And it was like The Sims on steroids for PlayStation, right? Motherfuckers had avatars. They're running around doing shit all day long. But Sony decided to end it. And on their last day, some, not all, of the people who participated in that, who were heavies in it, showed up to a beach, a simulated beach. And they were doing their fucking emotes and they're dancing until the server was finally decommissioned. Sony said they would bring the server to the end.
That's in love.
This is actually on video, like video you can find on YouTube. And I remember there was a moment in this video where motherfuckers are dancing. And it was supposed to end at let's say 12 o'clock, and it was 12:01. And they're like, "Yo, we're still here. We're still here. Maybe they won't blink."
You see them dancing like,
and then they woke up to reality.
Well, yo, check this out. I'm thinking I'm gonna start at 7.
Right.
If I go 4 hours, if the party goes 4 hours, you could have the last hour, 11 to midnight.
I don't know. I felt like we ended it well last night. I felt like
I loved your stream last night, by the way. For anyone who doesn't know, he did his final, well, he calls it Zenful Sundays, but really Zenful Nights, but it's really Request Box Live. Let's be real. It's amazing. It was amazing. And I felt the energy and the love in the room. It was so good.
It's over. It's over. I don't. You can't come back. That's like Floyd Mayweather fighting Conor McGregor. You're like,
over. It is over. I know I'm gonna bust a bunch of chops at the end. I'm gonna be a dick. I'm gonna call some bitches out, if you know what I mean.
Yo, there are people that I didn't even realize unfollowed me on IG from the Spoon era, where I was just like, oh man, I don't see posts from this person anymore. And you look them up, and it's like, oh. No, that doesn't mean that I'm not an asshole.
Yesterday, you had someone come in, and you're like, yo, you're the queen. That person did that to me.
I don't remember who that was.
It's Mez. Mez, stop following me, you bitch. So I'm gonna have a little during the outro party. I'm gonna have a little comment about her. You know, spooners are super petty.
I'm looking for. In fact, I'm not doing it. We're gonna have an episode for Wednesday for Pillow Talk but I got to be there because I think I know, not think, I know I'm going to manifest this into actualization right now.
Wait, Matt says, is Spoon an app? And then he asks, is Discord an app?
Yes.
They're both apps, bro. You need to join us.
I'm going to manifest this into actualization.
Yes, please download Discord. Join us, Matt. You're going to have a good time.
Mantis, I'm manifesting this into actualization. Jupiter is in retrograde, and my green tea is spinning counterclockwise.
So you're using witchcraft right now.
I'm casting.
Jesus would be thrilled. Jesus would be thrilled.
I'm casting spells from the multiverse right now. I feel as if though it's appropriate for all of us to be in your stream to end on this hiatus.
I would I would love it
because in actuality, here's the thing, right, man? I've heard people make claims about their shows being the most popular on Spoon. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, only a few motherfuckers were actually behind the curtain, and you're a motherfucker that was behind the curtain. And if for no other reason, it would be great to hear your sign off on the last minute of Spoon. I'm thinking about how epic and legendary that shit's gonna be.
You know what? One of the reasons why so many people say that was Clint. Clint often to try to get people to work and do his thing. He was silver tongued, and I love the guy. I love him. One of the things he would be, he was like one of those guys who would grab you by the arms and be like, "You're the best here. We need you. This app is nothing without you." So he did it to Emmy and Emo. He did it to Derek. He did it to a bunch of people. All these things. Now that I think about it, maybe I wasn't so big because maybe he lied to me. I don't know, but he did perpetuate that kind of lie. That's why he's a good producer.
Well, I mean, easy. Someone's gonna write in the chat right now, motherfucker. No, that's not what makes a great producer. A real producer will tell you your shortcomings. Here's what I'm saying about your show, right? And what your involvement in Spoon. How many of those other people you just listed showed up to a museum with a butter sculpture version of Mike Black? What is this motherfucker's name? Jack Black. How many people did that? How many people orchestrated and organized Thanksgiving, Christmas events,
Halloween,
St. Patrick's?
It was a great stream. Yes.
So
I've 12-hour stream. You're right. You're right. They weren't there for that, and so I like to think of myself as like the golden child. However, remember, it's multiple people who make Spoon.
No,
without Request Box Live. What is Spoon?
No, I'm not. No. Hey, listen, I don't need any help in bolstering my own ego. I said it last night.
Shit, because you were.
I say it last night, and I mean this. I mean this, and I know it. There were many other people that played music on Spoon, but there was no other Request Box Live. I'm under no mistake.
You definitely did.
Like I'm under no mistake.
People, no offense, who had the term DJ. Questionable if they were DJs or not. Should I not have said that?
No, because the whole point of the whole thing was to uplift everyone. But from our generation of Spoon, man, I just want to give quick shout outs to the trifecta: G Forte, Fat Mantis, and Stacy. When I came into Spoon, when I came into the Spoon, those were the three powerhouses. This is not about me stroking him off as his friend. Pause, because I'll tell this nigga in a quick second if he's wrong or if he sucks at something. In fact,
tells me I suck every day. Actually,
I'm just saying when I came into Spoon, that was the trifecta. So it's appropriate. Yeah, I am looking forward to this Wednesday episode. Shalom Goyim, Transterosium, and I'm reading some shit in fucking
Rumble.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. When I showed up, that was the trifecta. So it makes the most sense that we get to close it down with Mantis, because in actuality, he was the only one trying to keep us all together on Green Room.
I try to keep us together. I try to keep our family together, but once again, people are loose, and people are hard to predict, and it didn't work out. That's fine. However, I can't wait for that Spoon night, because we're gonna reminisce about good times, but I'm also gonna have a lot of dissings, and so
Me and Bex might just have to cover your shit on our YouTube channel. Like we might just have to do
Please
cover.
cover. It's gonna be a great time. Please come to the Discord. This has been a great one. Lady says, "Ouch!" What are you talking about? We didn't diss you, Lady.
Why ouch? Why ouch?
Why ouch?
Why ouch?
Matt says, "Bummer." Well, if it goes anywhere new, I'll be there. Yes, please come through. It's gonna be a great time. Remember, guys, May 16th, Tuesday. It's gonna be a great time. We have overstayed our welcome. We've had a great time.
We're done. We're done. All the drinking Chardonnay is gone. We've eaten all the shrimp and deviled eggs. There's no more crackers left on the table.
I've already pissed my pants. I didn't mean to share that.
Let's get the hell out. We don't have our closing music on deck anymore, so we can't even do that. So awkward goodbye. Good night.
Awkward goodbye. We love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Keep tuning in. We've got all sorts of streams coming from Steve. I'm gonna keep being an asshole. It's gonna be a good time. But remember that spoon party. It's gonna be epic. Until next time, ciao for motherfucking now. Peace.
Peace.